welcome back. We are talking again about the importance of voting this weekend. We have with us three folks who are really active in this community relative to this initiative. We have Yvette Thompson, introduced her to you the first segment. She's the president of the League of Women Voters. We have Mark Buford, who is from the UAW CAP program, and we have Giselle Mendoza, who is a program director at Adelante. So you were talking about how important it is to verify that you're registered, that you are able to vote.
It's such a simple process. I mean, it really is to check if you're registered first, and then to get registered. And any registered voter can register another potential voter. It's made very simple. And the biggest concern I have right now, Doni, is every month about 150,000 kids turn voting age. And are we capturing them young folks to get into the process of voting?
Right.
And if we're not, shame on us, because they're the future. We have to have that. We have to increase the number of Americans that participate in the election process.
You're right, and we talked last week on Bridges too about the number of young folks who are actually becoming disengaged from the voting process, who were really all into it 4 years ago, and this year they seem to be a lot less enthusiastic about it. So that is a fabulous point, and we do need to do better at that.
Obstacles from administrators when trying to do on-campus voter registrations that we should not have to run into.
What kind of obstacles?
They won't let us do it. In certain cases, it's, and I don't want to get too deep into it.
Sure,
with
but
different
what
schools.
reasons are they giving you for not?
They're not letting us. They're claiming it's a partisan, and it's not partisan politics. It's simply getting people registered to vote.
Right.
Or they don't have the time and the staff. We're not asking them. All we're asking them for is a space on the campus, with a table and a couple volunteers to register new folks, young folks coming up in age to vote.
Yeah, that is so important, and I really hope that people do understand the importance of making it a lifelong activity to vote. I was taking my daughter to vote with me when she was a toddler. I took her every single year, and the minute she turned 18, she was out there voting on her own. It was part of her life's experience. It was important to her. So the younger we start engaging them in that process, the better.
I think bringing back politics, to the table, at the dinner table, while you're watching TV, creating a conversation. I think voting, of course, important, but the issues at hand that affect us immediately, locally, the levies, the zoo, TPS, all kinds of stuff that, will have an effect on us, aside from, of course, the presidential, but it's important to talk to your kids, to talk to your grandkids, my nephews, and how that will affect you in the future, and why I'm gonna go vote.
You're absolutely right, and we don't talk about those issues too much anymore. We've become a group of people who sort of just roll through life without understanding how, or without acknowledging how those issues really affect us in the long run.
It really became an economy, a country of me rather than we. I have mine, now you go get yours. And when I grew up, it wasn't that way. We helped each other.
Right.
And now, for however it happened, we've really isolated ourselves into individualists and rather communities. And it's hard to bring that back, but we absolutely have to bring that back.
We have to bring that back. We do.
I also see a lot of young kids using the internet communication, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. And if they have that many friends to talk to on Facebook, you would think that they would be able to let them know that, okay, I'm going to go out and vote, or you're going to go out and vote.
Hey, I think we just got a movement started here. Yvette is saying, go out on Facebook, tell people to vote.
I think that those type of communications that we do, and text messaging and things like that, it's a way of communicating, especially with young kids. That seems to be what they enjoy doing.
Yeah. So make it work, make it be positive.
Make it work.
Absolutely. I want to show you guys my button. Take a look at my button. Derek's not paying attention to me. Look at my button. This is a custom-made button by YH Creations. I'll tell you how to get your own. You can have anything put on it you want. Mine just says Bridges and vote on that. But it's a great way to get really inexpensive buttons. It's a great way to get the message out to people to vote. Anything that we can do that brings the importance of this process back to the table, back to the forefront, back to the conversation is absolutely critical. You know, there's lots of misinformation out there today. I'm going to put up some questions, and you guys, I think I actually have the answers on the screen, but let's go through them and tell me what you think. Ready? May I vote if I've been convicted of a felony? Yeah, I put the answers on the screen. May I vote if I've been convicted of a felony? Don't you guys hear this all the time? People say, oh, I've been to jail, I can't vote, you know. Not right, Mark.
No, they can vote.
Absolutely, you can vote. As long as you're off papers, you can vote.
Right.
Absolutely. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot vote just because you've been convicted of a felony. How do I vote if I'm in a hospital, a nursing home, or etc.? Call the Board of Elections. You know what? I found this out in my process. They will actually send.
They'll send a worker out there, or you can vote absentee. We do a lot of encouragement for people to request absentee ballots and vote absentee, especially for folks that may be in a nursing home or homebound.
Or jail.
Or
who have not been convicted.
Yeah, right.
Who have not been convicted.
That are incarcerated to a temporary situation.
Right.
Or maybe out of town at that time or whatever. That way you know you get your vote in.
Right. Right. There are very few reasons that keep you from voting, and the Board of Elections is a great place to call if there are questions. I'm not registered. Is it too late to register? Absolutely not. Especially, we talked about this a little bit earlier, that golden week of October 2nd through the 5th, and then the 9th, because there's a Columbus Day holiday, I think, in there, which throws things off a little bit. Yeah, you can actually go down, vote, register, and then vote at the same time. What can't make it much easier than that? You know,
And
if
a
you
lot of
don't
people
vote, you
fought-
can't complain. Go
A
ahead.
lot of organizations fought awfully hard to be able to let folks do that.
You know, say that again.
A lot of organizations throughout Ohio and different states fought vigorously to be able to give people that right to be able to register and vote at this time. We had motor voter laws years ago that they fought us and fought us and fought us not to
Absolutely.
get that. And but we won some of them. So they've made it very easy for a person to register and vote.
Absolutely, and not to mention, if you're a person of color, you know the history of trying to get to this opportunity that we have today. So if you don't vote, I don't want to hear any complaints from you about the way things are, because it's partly your fault.
You can say that again.
Okay, I can say that again. If you don't vote, I don't want to hear any complaints about the way things are. Giselle told me to say it again because it's kind of your fault.
Yes.
Do I need identification? Do I need to present identification to vote? During early voting, you'll only need to use your Social Security or your driver's license, and you really don't need to show identification. I won't complicate this conversation with explaining that this is sort of like, this is really absentee voting, but early voting, go down there, you get around all of that sort of thing. As Yvette mentioned earlier, though, if you wait until later, at the polls, you are required to show some forms of ID.
You should show. You can go to lwvohio.org on our website for the state level, and it does have a button to click to show information about voter identification.
You want to give them that website again?
That's lwvohio.org.
Okay. Next question. Even though there are voting machines, I'm a little intimidated by voting machines because they're like computers and stuff. Can I ask for a paper ballot? Absolutely, yes, you can. You can ask for a paper ballot. They have them at the sites, and you can use them. This is interesting because there's all this discussion about provisional ballots, and the question is this: if I vote provisionally, how do I know if my vote was really counted?
The Board of, you can always back check on your vote to make sure it went through afterwards. And also to back up just a bit, if I might.
Sure.
The Social Security requirement is the last 4 digits of your Social Security number.
Thank you. That's right. Only the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. Thank you for that. May I wear, I mean, like, this is America, and like we get to express ourselves and say what we want to say. So when I'm in the voting location, may I wear things that say "I love Mitt" or "Go Obama, go"? No.
No, those things have been restricted out of the polling. It can influence other voters, and they don't really does. It's not allowed. It's
Right.
not allowed. Actually, you can't even, if you're handing out any of those campaign literatures, you have so many feet that you have to stand back away from the polling location.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. The polling location is considered a nonpartisan location. You are not allowed to bring any partisan materials into that location. That includes issue information, and they will ask you to leave. They'll ask you to leave as well if you're misbehaving, but we know better than
We've
misbehaving.
ran into some overzealous polling location workers that have actually asked union members to leave because they had a union logo on their shirt. We got that knocked back because that's not a partisan. That's who we work
Oh,
with.
so
and
like
for.
your local 12 logo, they would ask you to
They,
leave
they
because
did
really?
for a couple times, and we contacted the board and got that set aside because it's not partisan politics.
Okay. All right. Okay, we have just a few seconds left. Giselle, any parting words for folks?
And like I repeat again, get educated, registered, and go vote.
That's right. Call the Board of
Yes.
Elections if you have any question at all. We're going to put that number on the screen for you again before we leave. Parting words?
An incredibly small percentage of our country determines who's going to run it by the number that are registered to vote and the number that participate in the process. And we all have to help increase that dramatically.
Right. Make a change. Yvette, 5 seconds.
Okay, I just want to say that I think that everyone should get involved. Call a
Absolutely.
family, call a friend, get
Get
involved. This is
Absolutely.
very important.
I love that.
Very,
Call a
very
family,
important.
call a friend, get involved. We have to go away for just a second. Look at my button again. It says go vote. We'll be right back.